Okay, thanks, Sarah. Well, thanks everybody for joining us today at our Broker Summit. I want to introduce our guest speaker and I guess panelist, Ann Miller. Ann is the Vice President of Luxury and Commercial Division for RE/MAX LLC. So she's overseeing both luxury and commercial. Her department focuses on building programs and develop new innovations for luxury and commercial group. She has over 20 years of experience in luxury real estate. She joined RE/MAX, was it 2012 or 13?
Yeah, actually 7 years now.
7 years, and she's got background in development, acquisitions in several states. She's worked in several states, and I don't know, for those of you who missed the first part of the conversation, she also lived for a couple of years in Charlotte, so she's very familiar with our market. And welcome to our summit. We're really excited to have you.
Thank you so much, Koresh. I miss all you guys. I was actually planning to come out to Bald Head Island over 4th of July weekend, and unfortunately, the couple decided to cancel the condo. So, but other than that, hey, I miss Charlotte. I still consider it home for me, and someday we'll get back there sooner than later. The last time I was with everybody was at a broker owner event, I think about 4 years ago. We came and we toured Raleigh. We went to North Carolina and South Carolina and just had a great time. So Thrilled to be here with everybody.
Great, thank you.
So I'm going to get started with the PowerPoint this morning. So thank you again for, to Hadi, to Sarah, to Koresh for putting all of this together for us today. And I want to share with you my information to reach out. And then I will be sharing this PowerPoint with Sarah after today's meeting. So that you all can have these bullet points for you. In the meantime, I'm sure you may perhaps take pictures with your camera of certain slides, but that's my contact information. And also on this call is Anna Washa, who's an integral part at RE/MAX LLC of handling all your questions when it comes to luxury as well. So as Koresh mentioned, I've been in with RE/MAX 7 years, and my background is I have sold luxury real estate in many markets. Charlotte was my last project that I worked on for a developer, and again, one of my very favorite cities to be in and live in. So I'm home in Denver. Today I'm coming to you live from my home in Denver. I'm not back at the office yet, but soon to be, hopefully. I want to give you today's quote, and yes, that's a picture of my dog and me on at Bald Head Island on the beach. It was rainy, and then right afterwards, a rainbow came out in the sun. So I wanted to share because we're in Charlotte today and around for all the Carolinas. So this to me means a lot, this Theodore Roosevelt quote. It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by the dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who at best knows in the end the triumph of achievement, and who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly. This quote means a lot because the time that we're in right now, we have to dare to take everything that we're doing right now to that next step. And it requires a lot of confidence and a lot of courage. For those of you on the call today, I understand we have everyone from those that are starting to think about their luxury business or how they add to their business and include luxury in that, to our seasoned veterans on the call today. So thank you all for being here. Today is going to be for everyone. And some of it may be a little bit elementary for our veterans, but at the same time, we always need that starting point. And right now in luxury space and in any space in real estate, it's about confidence. So I'm following Adam this morning, so tough shoes to follow, but I'm going to do my absolute best in sharing. When Adam talked about, intentional and being great at, what you're doing, in my space in luxury, I'm very intentional. And I will say, yes, this is a time that we have choices. We have the choices to say, are we going to be fearful of our next step, or are we going to say, bring it on? And if we fail at the bringing on, at least we've learned something, and we'll keep moving on until we get to that absolute best and greatness. So I will tell you this time, it's been tough for me, even though I'm an introvert, I still am an extrovert when it comes to passionate about real estate, passionate about luxury. But what it's taught me during this time is where I need to look at my SWOT analysis. And SWOT, we all know, is SWOT, and that is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I always go down the first road of what are my threats? And my threats for me are, what do I need to work on to share out so that our network and myself, we get better every day? So I look at those and then I jump right into opportunities. If any of you saw right away or follow Brian Buffini as well, Brian was sharing immediately in April, in May, in June, and every single month, what the opportunities are that we have in our business every single day to grow and to be the best, whether that's to take over market share. When we first started staying at home, safe at home, that was in March. So I've been home here since March, and then what each month has brought. So when I first started making calls out to our network, and I started sharing, how are you? You know, those were the simple questions. And the gamut, this just ran the gamut, the range of, you know, from fearful, the unsure, to the anger, you know, it was everything combined, to the finger pointing, you know. And then I started looking towards April, and April was more of self-reflection when I would call our agents, and how is business going? And it was a little bit less fearful and more of, I've got to jump in. And then we still had agents that I would talk to and that would sit on the sidelines and say, I'm just going to wait and see what happens. And, you know, I had to meet our agents. I'm meeting you. Wherever we're at in our business is okay. And I'm here to help you. And Anna's here to help you for wherever you're at in your business. That's what we do every day. So I come to you from a place of, I've been here, I've been doing this, and everything that we try and create and do is to help and be impactful for your business. So those phone calls now have graduated to, that was March, April, May. You know, in June, and starting in May and June, we were starting to see, hey, bring it on, we're RE/MAX, we can do this. You know, RE/MAX is behind us and coming out, and especially in your office, you know, you have unbelievable leadership bringing you opportunities like this on a, you know, weekly, monthly basis, you know, having Adam talk to you about market conditions and such, and then, you know, how we're working in your business behind the scenes. So that being said, then we set up for, you know, April, May, June. And what I'm hoping for is a lot of the things we talk about, you're either one, already incorporating, or B, you know, when you're ready, that we get moving forward on them. So this quote means a lot to me because we're going to stumble in luxury, or we have stumbled in luxury. And then moving forward, what does that plan look like? So first off, some of you have seen this, you know, we need to create an opportunity to differentiate, but differentiating means differentiating in the correct manner. And differentiating, again, this goes to where are your clients right now. Differentiating is, you know, what are the opportunities to differentiate, meaning set yourself apart. Set yourself apart, whether that's you've decided to put videos together. And I'm the first, Adam said it this morning, I do not enjoy doing video. Once I do it, I don't want to look at it. I do prefer live more than I do creating a video and then posting it. One, I don't want to look at it again. But two, we've got to be real. We've got to be, I'm going to stumble probably a couple times during this today, and that's okay, because I want to give you the best, and all of a sudden extra thoughts are going to come into my brain, and I'm going to say, I have to share that with you. So forgive me for that. But we need to create a sense an opportunity to differentiate, and in the right way. And that is, all boats rise. So when we start differentiating in the right way together, meaning using the RE/MAX collection brand the way it was meant to be used, which is one, on listings that are 2 times the average in any area, and two, that we actually use the brand appropriately. I have been in different communities, been at when I was traveling, going to different offices in the US and global. And it was very interesting to me that when everyone was doing something different, we were wondering why we weren't gaining market share. And then once everyone started deciding in their office what the program should look like, how it should feel, and they were using the brands correctly, how they were then taking over market share. Because here's what I know, we're confusing our consumer, aren't we? We are. We're confusing our consumer by going out and branding differently and not using our brand appropriately. So some may say, they're using the RE/MAX collection on everything. Well, we know other brands that do that, don't we? Other brands do that, and some take over market share, some do not. But the reality is, for us, the best thing we can do to take over market share is differentiate in the right way. We also know luxury markets are reasonably resistant to economic changes. If you look at the Institute for Marketing Luxury Home Program, the Institute for Luxury Home Marketing, we have a link on the RE/MAX collection website that I'm going to show you later in this that has a free downloadable report that talks all about US and Canada. Charlotte and Raleigh-Durham are posted on there as markets that the Institute watches for luxury. And right now, in the Charlotte market, we've already determined this morning by Hadi that it is a seller's market still, and that's going to continue. So part of that, we're going to talk about how we get to our customer when in fact we have low inventory, and what we're doing to get to our customer in a low inventory situation, especially in luxury. So when we talk about that luxury right now, it is still a seller's market in the luxury market in Charlotte. So we know that it's resistant to economic changes because a lot of times there's not a reason why. Our luxury consumer, they don't have to purchase, luxury goods. They don't have to purchase luxury. It's a want, not a need. So it's a little bit different than the situation when you must have a house because you're moving in a separate location, or whatever those reasons being on your home for must have a house. This is a want, not a need when it comes to luxury. So our consumer prefers agents with special tools and knowledge. And also going back to that economic change, in 2014, when we were coming out of our recession, luxury cash sales were leading our marketplace. That's what was leading our marketplace, cash sales out of the luxury market. Right now, we know in luxury that it's leading in the sense of luxury is still a booming economy for us. I wouldn't say booming, but it's still a moving economy for us. At the same time, it's not all cash sales. So because of great financing right now that can still be found in jumbos and other, or in standard financing, if that's all that they need, it's still moving forward. So we want to also look at this. This is an opportunity for a strategic approach to maintaining or increasing sales volume. I don't say commission sales. I don't say that, because I can't promise you're going to make additional commission sales for this and it's going to lift your bottom line. But what does it mean if we miss one luxury sale? That's what we want to talk about too in this space. And by doing that, if we miss one luxury sale because we have a fear, because it's a confidence issue, because let me tell you, I know this is not a competence issue. You all are brilliant at what you're doing, or you wouldn't be doing it. We all have to have a passion for what we're doing. So we want to make sure that we have that confidence behind. And are we sacrificing clients by not utilizing the RE/MAX collection brand and everything that it has to offer? And please be clear, I'm not here to throw up and show up all these tools and resources for you. What I am here to do, unfortunately, I wish this was different, where I was standing in a room and we were having more of a true conversation than me, talking, at you. So, but believe me, we're gonna hit on everything that this course describes. We're going to talk about, revenue potential. So are we sacrificing clients by not only using the brand, but basically adding to our business? And then also positioning in market share, because we all know who your number one, number two, number three in your market are for selling luxury. What are they doing and doing really well? And how are you positioning yourself differently in the market to win over those listings? Hadi mentioned, how do we go after the listings when we only have X number, a very small pool to go to in the different communities? How are we benefiting from going after that business? So let's talk about your market. So right now, when we talk about your market, North Carolina, South Carolina, we're still, because we were not deemed essential in some areas. I understand there is going to be a lag. This is not going to come at us like, wow, every market is open and boom, we're all doing really well. That's not how this recovery, if you will, is going to happen in luxury, because sometimes, we don't have all the data yet. This is an ongoing beast. that we see every single month for the different marketplaces for luxury. So because there is no true reason other than what we're going to get to, what I know our affluent clientele is looking for, some markets are going to lag. It's not going to reopen and everyone's going to see this tremendous growth. There's not going to be this magic bullet every day in your inbox stating that you have a client that is looking now in the luxury market. So it's going to take patience, right? It's going to take patience. But what this also is creating for us during these times is opportunity. And what I've learned through this opportunity is what are we that we were not able to work on before in our business. Now we're working on our business. So those are the opportunities that we have. So what's happening in the US market? Hadi and Adam went over that a little bit. You know, again, we wish we all had that crystal ball for what's happening, but US market right now, again, pockets are recovering. If you look at California, it feels, even though they've had open, closed, open, now closed again in many markets, they're still going crazy. I look at our top agents, which we're having Jordan Cohen on our Facebook group, the Remax Collection Facebook group next week. Yes, that was a shameless plug. I hope you sign up. For those of you that haven't, we now have a Facebook group, the Remax Collection. And Jordan is going to be interviewed next week on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. So I hope you join. That's noon your time in Charlotte. So we're going to be talking about the market, but they never missed a beat in California. If you look at mountain areas that were open, closed, open again, you know, what they're seeing is in the high-end luxury market, because it's a want, not a need, we're going to talk about second home market. You know, some that were in the city or in town have decided to revert to their second home. What can you be doing for those second home markets if they already have a second home? For example, at Lake Norman, you know, these are opportunities for you. And then of course the global market, what's happening in our global market. So you know, we are teaching the ILHM, the Institute for Luxury Home Marketing course on a global level right now. Why is that important to your business in Charlotte? You're a global hub. So you have all different groups, you know, all different countries that pop into Charlotte. You know, not only US, it might have slowed down a bit from the New York market, from the New Jersey market, from the other East Coast markets, and that may have happened globally. We know that right now, as far as the China right now is not pushing a lot of money into US. They're waiting until a few things calm down, not bringing the money over. It's not shut down completely. We're still seeing some opportunities there, but then you need to look at other markets. What's happening in the UK? What's happening through Argentina, Brazil? You know, you need to look at your other feeder markets globally. You don't need to be experts in them, but you still need to be able to share, because I'm certain that some of your clients that have second and third and fourth homes probably dabble in our global market. So our agents have been taking the ILHM Luxury Live course, the Institute for Luxury Home Marketing, to get their certified luxury home marketing specialist designation. So they're, again, working in their business. We're teaching global. We've started over a year ago. Reason being is they want to connect with agents like us, agents like you in the US. If they have a client that comes to Charlotte, they want to make sure they're talking to a specialist that knows luxury. So while in your profile at remaxon.com, you're putting that you're a luxury agent, you know, make sure if you decide to go down the Institute's track and become a member, you know, that you're also putting that in your marketplace. So global markets are opening up very slowly. We hear from, if any of you have been on the webinars or the information that's passed through Italy or passed through Israel or Germany, those markets are opening back up. And how they're doing it, a lot of it is virtual. Most of it is virtual. And that is to keep the client at, you know, what their risk is or what their comfort level is, and it's listening to them on where they want to move forward. But please know, in all these markets, you know, your market, US and global, there are still many luxury players, and they're waiting for you. And this is what they're waiting for. You know, I want to be clear that every single time, you know, I don't want to keep, you know, going back to what Adam and Hadi talked about, but how do you show up every day? We need to be ready every single day. Every morning I'm getting up, not every morning I get up and work out, but pretty much at least 4 days a week, I'm going downstairs and hopping on a HIIT workout video or whatever it is that I have that I can work on. That's what I'm doing. And then I'm getting up, and this started back in March. I kept to my routine because one, it gave me that comfort level, and that was really important. And that's no different than what your clients are going through. I am sure that when you had the conversation in March, April, May, June, and today, the conversation has completely changed. And I'm hoping that all of you have had conversations every month with your clients, at least sent videos or done something, and we're going to get to that. But the reality is, every day that you show up, every day that you bring that energy, trust me, there's days that I show up and I don't have that wild, positive, crazy, energy, but I would say pretty much 99% of the time I do, because it's a choice when we show up every day. I go downstairs, I have my workout, I come back upstairs, I take my shower, eat breakfast, and then boom, I'm on. I look at it every day like I'm in front of the camera, because I never know, what calls I'm going to get each day, whether that's internal or external. One, I have a plan every day, who I need to call, who I need to talk to, and what the benefits are going to be for myself and for that person. What news do I need to watch every day? That's a positive impact. I'll be honest, since March, I haven't watched the news. I get on MSN or some news channel and I'll click on it in the morning to see what is imperative that I listen to and hear. And then I do the same thing before I click off and leave my virtual office of the day. So that being said, the reason I put interview is every single day when you talk to your client, it's an interview, and make no mistake about that. That is the biggest, piece of information that I want to talk to you right out of the gate, because the way we're dressed, the way we look, how our opportunity comes across on camera is going to ensure if you're going to keep that client, if you're going to keep that client engaged, or if they look at you and they say, wow, Ann is really not put together today. She must be having a rough day. Well, how do you think that they perceive that? They perceive that is, wow, if Ann has that rough day, how's she going to handle my business that day? So I'm not saying that every day we bring, sunshine. And I mean, if there's bad news, there's bad news in our market. We don't want to sugarcoat it. At the same time, that's not how we're leading. We're leading with our professionalism. We're leading with how do we dress every day. This was even prior to the situation we're in right now. The biggest comments that I was hearing back from our agents were the fact that they were very frustrated in this luxury space, that we were not dressing the part to secure and show confidence and competence to our clients. This is always an interview. That's why it's spelled out here 3 times. And referrals are not a sure thing. It doesn't matter if it comes from your family. It doesn't matter if it comes from a friend. A referral is not a sure thing. I've actually talked to clients, your clients, that have said that our agents have lost a deal because they felt it was a referral and they did not come prepared. They did not come prepared for, their quote interview. They felt, oh, it's a referral, I've got the business. And then the other thing I want to share for those of you that are new to luxury, it's great if you can partner. And I highly recommend that. So if you feel you don't have the confidence in luxury, or you're wondering what's missing, what can I be doing differently? First of all, look at your competitors that are doing really well. It's okay to copy your, competitor in the sense of what are they doing? How are they showing up? But also, what even better value than someone in your office that is working in luxury and that gives you the gift of, hey, come on along, or I'm doing these virtual things, why don't you sit in, so that you can learn the luxury business. So we also want to make sure we're communicating their way. We're communicating the way our clients are asking us to communicate. So that means meeting them where they are. So if they are not ready to talk about buying or selling, we're not going to talk to them about that. We're going to be real people, show up as our authentic self, talk about what connected you in the beginning. How did that happen? That's what you're going to strive for right now. And the other place when I say communication their way is, sometimes they don't want to pick up the phone. Sometimes they don't want to pick up and look at a video of yours. So is that an email? So how are we communicating that best meets their needs? Because what they'll tell you and what you tell them all day, time is money. And to them, time is precious because you don't know what's happening in their life on a daily basis. But the reality is, if you do, you'll know how we communicate on a daily basis. The other is networking. How are we networking? This is changed. This has completely changed. Networking, there's no longer where we're going to places and networking with other colleagues. Instead, we're doing this. We're doing the face-to-face Zoom time. So how are you continuing to do that? Are you being proactive in your market? Are you being proactive in your office and saying, we need to get these great, networking events going? And again, it doesn't need to always be brand. It can be, how are you networking with other agencies? Whether it's Box Brownie, getting Peter on the phone and saying, hey, can we have a networking event so you can share best practices in video? Or, your local restaurant down the street, hey, can we get a networking event? What's the best, most ordered item off the menu? So how are you networking and bringing it different? So, and then we want to talk about confidence, the confidence that it takes in this circle, because with luxury especially, the confidence that it takes is your affluent clients are looking for you to be the expert in all things. You need to bring it. You need to bring that confidence every single day. And how do you get there? So I want to talk about social media on a planner plan. But first, I'm going to go back a little bit. I'm going to go back to the slide we were just on. So when I talk, I'm going to hit up on some of these things that we talked about. First off, it's when we talk about, how do we find these clients? We all know that luxury goes hand in hand a lot of times with small business owners. So small business owners, how are they thriving or surviving in their marketplace right now? Because you know if they are in the luxury market or not, these are your clients. So if they are a family business or a small business, how are they thriving and how are you helping them with that? So if they're one of your clients or you want them to be one of your clients, because we're talking about how we get them, how we meet them and reach them in today's webinar. So if you don't have that client and they're a small business and they're thriving, what are the little things you can do for them? So can you send them a video that showcases, first off, we don't want to showcase what you're doing, but showcasing that you've sent a video out for them, pushing their small business for whatever that may be. So that's a value proposition for them. So you're showing up in a different way, helping them with their business and getting the word out. And that can be done through social media, or it can be done if you have your own business website. Either one of those plans are great for connecting with small business and trying to find them. So it's all about customer service. So when we talked videos, earlier when Adam was saying, just get on there, do it live. We don't love it, he doesn't love it, but a lot of us don't enjoy doing the live thing. At the same thing, video is critical right now. Whenever even more so than ever before, whenever I get on to a class, for example, I make sure everyone has their camera on so that I can see them, because this is a relationship business, especially in luxury. And when you have your camera off and I can't see your face, and I have our agents globally calling me and saying, hey, Ann, who do you know in this market that I need to send a referral to? Who do you think I pick first? Those that I feel like I have a connected relationship because I've seen their face, because they've asked some questions, or because they've emailed me afterwards. Because why? You're engaged and you're serious about your business and you're hoping to gain more business. So that's one of the things. So technology is utmost importance right now, and how we're connecting on a digital, but mostly information basis. So we want to talk about also, when we're talking about who do we find and how do we find these people. We talked about it last year at Luxury Forum about wealth managers and how wealth managers show up. Living in Charlotte, what was the great thing? We're right there by Bank of America, Merrill Lynch. So I'm not suggesting they're open right now and you can just walk in and have an appointment with a wealth manager. But are you looking up the top wealth managers in your marketplace right now? Are you sending a video of yourself on your best practices, what you're great at? You're a great negotiator. You're great at bringing concierge services to their clients. So how are you showing up differently so that you get on their list that they're going to want to use you as, for their clients when they're the best wealth manager. What about SunTrust? I had an account at SunTrust. So what about talking to them about their managers, about being the go-to person when it comes to, helping through the mortgage process or whatever that looks like. So how are you doing things a little bit differently? So we already talked about the small businesses. That was very brief on wealth managers, but that is something to think about. Same with CPAs. Who are your your local CPAs or your local attorneys? What are we doing for our community as far as we know who our doctors in our communities are? Maybe it's, you pick a certain time during the month and you decide that you go to a small family practice of practitioners, or excuse me, of doctors, and you're dropping something like the sanitation kits off to help with them that are, have the RE/MAX branding on them, or reaching out directly to that physician that in your neighborhood and doing something like that. Hey, here's some free kits that you may need as extras for your office. How are we showing up differently? That is the main ingredient here. And then that gets your foot in the door to have the conversations. So also we want to talk about age demographic of wealth, because I think that is one of the biggest misses. Right now we seem to think that it's a certain generation that only has the wealth. Well, guess what? If it's a family business or a family that's going to hand down to generations their wealth, shouldn't you be getting to know the other players in the family? What makes them tick, how you reach them? Isn't that going to be valuable also going down? Because what's happening now when all this dust settles or changes or maneuvers and builds and how it's going to, we still have to have that at the end of the day. What are the continued opportunities? We're constantly, all of us, changing business on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. So what are the opportunities with the different pockets of age demographics? So whether you're, right now it's empty nesters, I can tell you what we're seeing right now on a global scale is, I mentioned second homes, perhaps it's Lake Norman. Your clients right now are looking for you to say, if they're already up at their Lake Norman home and they don't have a swimming pool, wouldn't it be, I get it, the lake is right there. So, but still, we all know at Lake Norman, some of them still want that swimming pool in there for days they can't get to the lake, or maybe the beach is closed at the lake. So look for the other opportunities. How do you show up and bring that concierge service to them? Or they decide, heck, now is the best time ever to redo the lower level because now I need an extra home office or an extra bedroom because I'm going to gather my family if it was an empty nester. Or if it's a young family, they may decide they want more services. And what does that lead to? That could lead to, if they decide to their house in the city in Charlotte, that they either want to make changes to it, sell it, go big, or they decide they want a condo in one of the buildings. These are all your opportunities. And I really hope that not only from this call, but or from this webinar today, that you're thinking about all these really fantastic opportunities that are out there for us that go above and beyond. But it starts with the one thing, and that's communication, and that's to meet your clients where they are. And I really hope that we're showing up right now and doing that, and really having those conversations of, if they don't want to talk real estate, we don't talk real estate. Okay. I really want to get into social media right now because it's been, I've been more involved in social media than I ever have in my life for all of you. These are social media tags. We came out with our new ad campaign. Everything is already ready for you, ready to go. So there's nothing for you to do. These are sized. You can put them in your social media campaign and they scream luxury, all of them. Also, we have Photofy and Megaphone. Megaphone is for boosting. I know you've heard this week after week, but it really is for boosting. But Photofy has everything you need to build a campaign. And when I say plan in social media, planning is, we talked about it before. Planning equals results. Busy equals busy. We all have those days that we're busy, we have things on our checklist that have to get done. Those are not my most productive and fun days, I can assure you. But when we talk about plan, are you planning for your social media? As I mentioned, we opened the RE/MAX Collection Facebook group and the RE/MAX Commercial Facebook group. So every other week, we're going to have a planned speaker coming and talking. Every week, I have a planned type of media that goes out. Every week, I have a listing of the week that's beautiful for the RE/MAX collection. What's your plan for social media? You know, when I look at those that have joined on social media, it's really interesting to me because a lot of the times I want to pick up the phone and call and say, wow, we really in the luxury space need to up your game. We really need to up your game in the sense of it may not look like a luxury page. And if you land on your page and go, it's okay, what do you think a buyer or seller, because they are checking you out on social media, is thinking when they look at your page? Do you think they go, it's okay? They do. And then they leave and go to another agent that's page looks more professional. I can guarantee it. I hear this from our customers on a regular basis. And I hear this from our agents. So when we go to our social media, first of all, we need to plan it out. We need to tag it so it does look luxury. It looks like a luxury page, that it has luxury information. In this space of luxury, it's all about information. It's all about giving them the best information. And let me tell you, if they're not on your page and then they start following your page, there's a reason why. They're looking at relevant information. And frankly, that's all it's about in luxury. You know, you're saving them time, you know, not necessarily money, but you're saving them time because you're giving them real information, relevant information, and being the expert on what's happening in their marketplace. Because I can assure you, if you're not doing it, someone else is. Is that another RE/MAX agent, or is that another brand agent? So it's relevant information in a timely basis. You know, relevant articles. I pull from Mansion Global or the Wall Street Journal or Forbes, whatever that looks like. What magazines do you think, you know, that your affluent customer is still getting to their house? There's 7 to 10 magazines on a regular basis that your affluent client is looking at on a monthly basis and getting information. The same with news articles, whether that's online or hard copy delivered to their home. They're getting it and they're looking at it. So highly recommend on social media, what relevant content are you posting? Next question you're going to ask me, because it comes up all the time. That's great, Ann, but I also, you know, want to be able to have some happy things on here. And of course you do. You want to show that you're able to, when things open up, that you're posting that about what restaurant or the doctor's office or whatever positive information, you know, that's happening in your community, because you are the community steward. You know, if you're part of you know, Children's Medical Network hospitals. When I was in Charlotte, we were part of Special Olympics. So that was our what we chose to put our money towards. So, you know, whatever that looks like, my reality and your reality is it has to be authentic, because we want to talk about things that we are associated with or that we know about. And that's going to be the biggest difference, that we're showing up. You know, obviously you're being courageous. We're building this social media plan, but also it's showing your confidence, because you're going to have some video on there of yourself. It's not just going to be posting. One of the myths about social media that I want to share right now is that when you show up and you put up one of your postings, that's actually taking. You know that, right? I know you do. That's actually taking, because you're showing up and you're saying, look at my beautiful listing, hurry up and come buy it. Come look at this luxury listing, it's beautiful, isn't it? Come buy it. That's taking, versus all the conversations that need to lead up to prior to putting that listing up. So what do those conversations look like? They can be something as simple as, you know, having the local chef of, well, I love Amelie's, I still do. So, you know, having someone from Amelie's talk about what it takes to be in a chef's kitchen, or what tools they would need to build X, Y, or Z, or it should say bake or cook something. You know, maybe that's your video message of the day. And then after it, you know, what a dream kitchen, here's, you know, your listing that you could actually do this. You need to give as well as take. So I see that a lot on social media, that we're doing a lot of taking, not a lot of giving. How do we do that? How do we plan versus, oh, I don't have a plan in social media. So I'm looking at my time here. Goodness, this goes really fast. I wish I could see every single one of you. I know we're going to ask questions. I've got about 5 to 10 minutes before I need to wrap up. So one of the other pieces I want to bring up is we have to instill confidence in others. So they not only need confidence in you because it's always an interview 24/7, whether you have the client or not. So we're also instilling confidence that what does your marketing plan look like? I know in later today, we're having that session on, what is missing from your marketing plan. I call it for luxury marketing consultation. This is a great time to look through your marketing consultation. If you don't have one, guess what? I've got a great one for you that for over the last 1.5 years, I compiled the best of the best at RE/MAX of who had a great marketing consultation. And I pulled that together and then I sent that over to Real Marketing. And their email address is in this PowerPoint towards the end, so no worries. But it's Real Marketing for you. They have an unbelievable, branded already for the RE/MAX collection, marketing consultation that either you can use everything static that's in it, and then just tweak what you want to make yours, or you can start from scratch and put all the language you want of your own in, and make it to fit exactly what you need. And for a marketing consultation, I will tell you what you do need for the affluent client. You need a pre-presentation that can be sent beautifully digitally. So you need to send that to your client ahead of time, explaining who you are, what you're best at. It may be, for those of you on the call that this is your first time, you're going to say, well, Ann, I don't have any luxury sales. Guess what? That's okay. You're still going to put in the sales that you did have, a few of them anyway, because that's what we do. So to know that you are a known expert. And then later on, when you gain that luxury business, you're going to then put in those luxury listings later on. But in the meantime, the best thing you can do for yourself is to create one large marketing consultation that can be broken down into bits. One, to present that short one that says who you are. And then that second one is when you have that opportunity to chat with them on video or chat with them in person. You're going to have a full presentation of everything you offer, full scope of services, and be able to ask all the questions necessary to gain that listing. And then guess what that third one looks like? The third one is going to share the entire consultation that you had on phase 1 and 2 of seeing them, but then 3 with all their market information, relevant information for their particular home that you're talking about. So I always break it down into the 3. It's a triple threat. The beginning, the first one, the second, and the third. So that's your triple threat on marketing consultation. And later today, you're being shared, what you're missing from your marketing consultation, what should be there. If you go to the website, the RE/MAX collection website, which is remax.com/luxury, again, that's going to be in this PowerPoint you're going to get afterwards. Take a look at what the marketing report looks like. That's free to you every month. So I will share June's is still on the website because the 3rd week of every month is when that report changes, because that's when they get the data. So the Institute gets the data. So the 3rd week of July, you'll see the month prior. So you'll take a look at that. But it gives you a great synopsis of what's happening in the US. And when you become a member of the Institute, the great news is you can dial that down to your market. I've done it before. You can pull out all the relevant data. It automatically builds charts and graphs for you. Why is this important? Again, relevant information you should be sending on a monthly basis right now to your client base, or at the least amount of time on a quarterly basis. So this shows that you're the expert in your market. And the other point of this is that the Institute and Real Marketing also can put that all together for you if you share the parameters. It's very simple. The bottom line is our affluent clientele want you to look like the ultimate professional you are, with tools and resources, with marketing material. I'll share, I've been in markets before, US and global, where literally, and I'm not kidding you, I've had someone come up to me and share and say, hey, Ann, this is my marketing piece that I'm this big even, this size on copy paper, saying, This is what I'm sending out to my luxury client. So how many clients do you think that person was reaching? And at that point, do you think that the client, how do you turn that around? How do you turn that around is very simple. Look on Design Center, look at our approved suppliers. We have to show up at as the professionals we need to be. That's our very first step. Plan around that, plan your budgets around that. Our #1 global agent, what did Jordan say the first thing he was doing? Doubling down on mailings. Doubling down on mailings. So he had this beautiful, very large, elongated, I want to say it was like 11 by, I don't know, 11 by 20 or something. It was a crazy big piece. It was absolutely gorgeous. And hopefully he'll share that with us next week. In fact, I'll ask him to do that for us. But the one thing that he was sharing with us was that he doubled down on that, because if he couldn't reach his clients other than Instagram or social media or digitally, he was going to make sure that he reached his clients by mailing those pieces, to his clients. So this is part of the expectation, is showing up with exceptional and quality materials, and that goes all the way down to photography. And don't even get me started on photography, because you know how I am when it comes to talking about photography. So a couple other things that I want to talk about is, that Brian Buffini, many talk about right now, is we need to invest in our marketing materials now more than ever, from a digital perspective with great photography, and then to our marketing materials that we're sending out. So make sure we're doing all of that. And then I just want to show you, I'm going to do a quick recap, and then I'm going to open this up for questions. So 2020 advertising consumer campaigns, again, this is on Photify, this is on Design Center. These are ready to go for you to make an impact in your business. We also are still having the RE/MAX Collection Luxury Forum, September 25th and 26th. Right now, it is still being said that it will be a live event, but we are having a virtual event as well for this. So it'll be partial virtual, partial live, but we still are having the RE/MAX Collection Luxury Forum. One of our speakers that we have booked already is Apollo Ono, so he'll share his journey. Yes, Apollo used to dabble in real estate as well. He'll share his journey. As you know, he was an Olympic, several-time Olympic speed skating champion, but he also is an affluent client, for one, and he also was working in luxury real estate as well. So many others are going to be there, but many networking opportunities, whether that's virtual or live, if we end up having it live, and then potential business. So the referral business, we have clients, we have agents that have been coming to Luxury Forum. This is our 8th one every year, and still gain business and relevant information on working forward in their business. So love to see you there. This is just a quick review. I'm not going to go through all these slides, but again, we have the RE/MAX Collection website. It syndicates over to global.remax.com. It syndicates to the Wall Street Journal. And also, if your listings are over $1 million, Mansion Global's requirement is if they're over $1 million, they'll syndicate there. These are all automatic. And again, it's 2 times the average in your area constitutes luxury. And we can find our spreadsheet, if you will, that has all the thresholds. It's the threshold spreadsheet on MAX Center. So you can go to MAX Center, click on the RE/MAX Collection tile. Everything from here on down is part of what is on the MAX Center tile. Great information that we have on MAX Center. Again, I'm going through these very quickly. You're going to get this entire PowerPoint. I felt it was more important to get other pieces out on getting real with how we're reaching our luxury clients, how we need to meet them. But one of the things on this slide that I'm showing you is photography. That is the most important thing. I will tell you that right now on Instagram, it was posted, hey, get your luxury listing shown on Instagram. What was failed to mention is it must be a house that is up to date and a house that has beautiful photography. So we want to make sure that whenever I post on the RE/MAX Collection Facebook page or on Instagram, the photography has to be phenomenal. If you're worried about it, get with Box Brownie. Find out what can Box Brownie do to you to enhance. I understand that some MLSs do not allow enhanced photos or changed images, and that's fine, but you should at least have them in your portfolio, because guess what? You are the expert. a lot of times our clients cannot visualize. So they need to visualize how they're going to live in this space. Right now, for second homes, for first homes in these luxury spaces, they're looking for beautiful backyards is number one. All the amenities that go with that, a cook's chef's kitchen outside. You know, if that's not existing now, how do you have a company like Box Brownie draw that in for you so you at least have that in your materials when you present to your clients? So we all know that this luxury is truly a specialty niche. And one of the things that I love about what I do, you know, at RE/MAX, is that every day I get the calls from our agents, no matter what stage we're in. And that could be those sitting on the call today that say, hey, Ann, you know, I'm just starting in my business. What should I do? How do I break into the price point? All the way to those that have said, hey, this has been sitting on the market for a really long time. You know, how do you help with that? And so those are the conversations I get on a daily basis, and we're here for you. So know that no call is silly if you're not asking the questions today. You know, we're here on a regular basis, me and Anna, to answer all your questions and walk you through everything that we have to offer in luxury. So with that, do we have any questions on luxury? I went a little over on time, I apologize. Any questions today? I'm going to go back to viewing the webcam. There we go.
And if anyone has any questions, this is Sarah. If anyone has any questions, feel free to message them in the chat and we can read them out loud.
So I don't have messages right now, but I am going to go into, again, one of the biggest, one of the most interesting things I still hear in luxury is, does it take a lot of money? Does it take a lot of money to be part of the RE/MAX collection? And the answer is no, but the answer is also, it is an investment. So you're investing in you. And what does that look like? Are you proud when you show up at, and I've got a couple things here. So are you proud when you show up, you know, at a meeting that you have beautiful, this is not, it's a mess, but anyway, but you have beautiful marketing materials and folders that present you in the best light because your competitors do. So, you know, are you ordering some things from the distribution center that show up and have you look like the professional you are? Because that's what we need to do to compete in this space. Are you putting out the yard sign to brag about, I'm part of RE/MAX and I'm part of the RE/MAX collection? So what are you doing when you look at your marketing materials? Seriously, everybody, dial it down, look at them. Are you proud on what you're presenting? Do your marketing materials, does that reflect the professional that you are? Is that how you're showing up? I will say 9 out of 10 times, that's what I hear and see from our agents is it expensive and what do I need to do? And the reality is, you know what you need to do. We need to present professionally, especially in this demographic, because we may not get a second chance at it. And that's why it's going to your competitors. And these are very, very simple things. If I had, you know, seriously, every time that I either went on a presentation or saw presentations that come my way, that come Anna's way, and we go, ouch, you know, if I'm an affluent client, I probably would not go with you as an agent. So check your websites, check your social media plans. This is the real deal, guys. You know, I'm giving it to you, I'm sharing with you. If I could do it for you, I would. I'm sharing with you real information on why, if we're losing out to other agents, part of that could be your marketing materials, your marketing consultation, how you're showing up from the very beginning. That makes all the difference in the world. How are we doing plan, you know, how are we doing ahead of time before, you know, we get to that meeting? How are we planning ahead of time on social media to reach those clients? Any more questions?
There is one question in the chat, and for those of you that are not sure where your chat box is, it's separate from your screen. You should have a little pop-up menu, and there should be a chat section. But one of the questions is, do you have any people on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook that you would suggest for them to follow for guidance or inspiration?
Absolutely. So if you're on Instagram, especially Jordan Cohen, if you're on Facebook, I would follow Darren Tackett. Darren Tackett is all encompassing on every single channel. You will see Darren, he's out of Arizona. Nate Martinez out of Arizona. Look at, I'm not sure, sorry, I'm just trying to think really quick off the top of my head. If you look at Elizabeth McQueen out of Vancouver, it's a consistent branded message always. And what I love about Darren Tackett's information, he's out of Arizona, he's passionate about fostering and fostering animals and getting animals adopted out of shelters. That's his passion. So every week he does some type of video that will share what the pet of the week is. And that has really, his business is booming even at this time. And he shares what his pet of the week is, because why? It's authentic to him. But then he brings that into his social media campaign professionally and personally. But I'm telling you what, if you see Darren's photos he is on Instagram, he is on LinkedIn, he is on Twitter, and he is on Facebook. Every time it's a branded message that looks consistent, and that's the same with Jordan Cohen. You will see the same Jordan Cohen show up every single time. Elizabeth McQueen, from the time she puts together her brochures, from what she looks like in all her pictures, her poses might be different, but her backgrounds with the Remax collection and her backgrounds in what she chooses to wear every day, always professional. You're always going to get that look. You know it's Elizabeth every time you show up. And let's be real, right now with all the social media things that are going out there, it used to be, 7 to 10 times that when a customer would see you, that was the first time they would see you, it would take 7 to 10 times. Now we're greater than that. It's taking 15 to 20 times for a client to see you in the luxury space for the first time. So don't get discouraged if you're like, hey, I put this out there 5 times and no one's clicked on it. This is a longevity. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So 15 to 20 times before you're seen the first time. But remember, you don't get a shot a second time. So that first message, that first time. Oh, I want to share this really quick too. Also, when you're loading up all your photos, know that the client that is looking at them, they will see those first 1 to 5 pictures. If that doesn't tell the story of the home, they're going to click off it. Those first 1 to 5 pictures have to be the grab me pictures, the money shots. Whenever you're doing your media, whether that's mailing video or mailing your postcards, flyers, what have you, whether that's your digital presence, whether that is on MLS, those first 5 photos are your money shots that are going to say if that client, a buyer or seller, is going to come to your listing or not.
Awesome. And then there's one more question. What are your favorite apps for business?
My favorite apps for business? Right now, I'm going to say, for me, business-wise, I'm using what we have, which is I'm using Photofy, I'm using Megaphone. Those are, they're on my phone. That's where I'm going to. The other one for business I love, I love Jabber. So Jabber is, if you, it's a little bit different for realtors. If you don't want, if you're not going to answer a certain phone line, don't put it in on Jabber. But whatever you're calling out of, it looks like your business line, like you're calling from Remax. So I'm really enjoying Jabber, and that's what I call a lot of you on, and it comes up Remax. So that's a nice one too.
All right, well, that's all the questions in the chat. Everything else just says thank you and what a great presentation. So wanted to pass
Thank you,
that
everybody,
along.
for sticking with me. This was my first time going live on GoToViewer webinar. So thank you again. I really, really appreciate you being here and listening today. And if you have questions, you can always, I'm going to send the PowerPoint to Sarah. You can reach me, and you can reach also Anna Washa. So look forward to it. You guys make it a great day, and we're here for you every step of the way.
Thank you so much, Anne. We really appreciate it.
Take care now.